Comrades, I am Admiral Andre and welcome back to Realpolitiks. This is episode 16. I made a bit of a mistake in the last one when I said it was episode 14. It just shows you how quickly things are progressing. I'm still processing it all. So today we have to continue on from our rebuilding efforts. We have been going on quite well. Let me just start the clock here and let's see. Oh yes, immediately we get a notification about the stock exchange there. The US is looking much better now. Let's see, Mali joined the bloc of Nigeria. Oh well, it's finally happened. Nigeria has created its own bloc, so now I can't put it in a bloc anymore. Is there any way to break up their bloc? I'm just asking for a friend, you know. Decrease relation in bloc so we can sort of disturb that. Bloc of Canada destroyed. So there's a peace treaty between the US and Canada, and Iceland left the Canadians. So that's very much like we saw before with the Mexicans. When they lost, they had to leave all of their blocs or their partners. So let's see if there was a change. No, there was no change in the border with Canada. So I assume therefore that somehow the US imposed a change of government or something like that. Some sort of penalty on the Canadians. Let's see. Oh yes, look there. It's an authoritarian country right now, just like the US. It's basically exactly the same. You can see 33-33. Canada will of course go back down again over time. You can see it's 33 trending towards 21. But for now they are authoritarian. I'm sure many Canadians will be upset about that. And I would be too, but there we go. So let's continue on and see how our nuclear efforts will progress. I wonder if anyone is going to try to stop us. I assume there must be some sort of mechanism to try and stop nuclear proliferation, just like in real life right now. But then again, as we know, in this game all bets are off. But I haven't seen any new countries develop nuclear weapons, or have they? Oh, they have actually. I've never really checked again. Let's stop for a second. So the list has grown quite a lot, but we never received a notification about that. Okay, the first 5, that's fine, I know that, Iran and Russia. But Belgium? Really? Belgium has 20 nuclear weapons? Italy? Poland? Kazakhstan again against the Russians, I assume. Norway? What are you doing, Norway? And the rest are the same, Pakistan and North Korea. But the Norwegians, I'm sure, would have something to say about this, because I've known a couple of them, and they're not really the most militaristic people, which is a great thing in real life. So there we go. Yes, hopefully soon we can add ourselves to that list, and I assume therefore that there's no penalty to becoming a nuclear power. So they're just not even trying to stop that anymore. Then the Indians are still fighting their rebels, doing quite well it seems, fighting hunger. A drastic population increase and decreasing area of fertile land is causing global hunger. The UN has created a universal funding project to feed those affected the most. This is overdue, I would say. We are already starting to see the effects of this, decreasing fertile land, not just because of desertification, but chopping down of forests and even climate change, it's already happening on the ground. And of course population increase. But let's see what we can do to help. Maybe we can get some prestige. Let's see. Oh yes, 500. Hopefully we can surpass who's number 3 at the moment? Japan. Well, just barely, if we get it. Action points and a lot of unhappiness reduction. But there's a number 2 and a number 3 as well, which is great, because the more people who contribute, the more we can do something about hunger. And it's not exactly a huge amount of money, so do it. And what's that? Diplomacy, yes. So I just have to keep that in mind now that we have another project. So I received a comment today. I usually record more on the late side in the day, but sometimes on the weekend I record early in the day. And I received a comment today about possibly looking at investing or assisting other African countries in their development, because there could be some benefits for me. So let's see if that would really work. But who will we take? I'm very much still of the mind to claim more of these southern African countries for myself. But let's start helping Kenya. Let's see what they do. So if I say help country, what does that give us? Oh dear, it's this human development thing again. I'll have to check that this doesn't stay permanent. So it's 1 year. Relations will go up. We'll lose resources which we can spare, but Kenya will get a bit more money. So okay, I don't really see much for us in that, but okay, let's do it. Let's just keep this in mind now, because I want to test this whole HDI loss system. It's now the 1st of August 2058. So at the same time, more or less, a little bit less, next year. So by the end of 59, we need to be back at 95 HDI if this really works. So do it, test it. So now we should drop. I'm not seeing a drop. Oh, obviously it takes a while to implement. Okay, well, from the starting date of that, we'll just have to check this, because I don't want to sacrifice our development for anyone else. So we'll have to see about that. USA stays close to Central Europe. The US has signed a new agreement with Europe. From now on, they'll be working very closely together. This is Czechia, Hungary and Poland. Okay, good for them. This is another attempt at creating a buffer with this resurgent Russia, and of course then involving the US in that. So it's a sort of, I guess, a new NATO, but more limited than the one we know. So Kenya, it's almost happening. Let's see. We're gonna lose HDI, unfortunately. It's September now. And it happens, there's the drop. Okay, effects, so yes, we lose everything basically, except we get some relations. So by September 59, we need to have 95 HDI again. I'm very adamant about that. And hold on, I forgot the hunger thing. What shall we do here? It's time to vote again. Interventionism is going down a bit. Personal control is rising. But I don't want the unhappiness. Although again, this is something we can get rid of relatively quickly. Let's see. Militarism is rising. I have no problem with that one. Personal control. Oh well, just accept the changes. Put that money in. So let's pay off some debt. It's strange because you wouldn't think it, but I get a kind of satisfaction from paying off debt. So yes, it just means that we're progressing. Nothing else happening here now. Let's see. Oh yes, some stock market things again. South Korea. Okay, so we're back to 27% of the world. At least I think our relations are improving. Let's find out. Well, sort of. The stock exchange in Japan was closed. That might be an opportunity for us. I know the Japanese don't really like us, but let me see. Their economy, GDP size. Okay, so it's quite big actually. It's more than South Korea or France. So maybe we should think about dropping someone, but I know the Japanese are sort of our rivals, so maybe let's just forget about that for now. Let's play along with the rivalry. Poland joined the bloc of the US, of course, like we saw. And I just closed something. Uh-oh, the UK has started up their own stock market now, so I'm going to have to do something about that. Let's remove them. And okay, well, how long is that? Less than 1 year, we'll have the chance to add somebody new. And I'm thinking now, let's just have a look at the economies again. Just stop that for a moment. No, I'm clicking everything except what I want to. UK. No, the UK is worth more than Japan. So I think we should first try to get them back. So I'm sorry, but your stock market is weak. And let's see if people buy that. More degrading. No, it's something I've done before. European disputes with the United States. This is no good because there's Poland and Hungary again. Political scientists, hey, that's my field, have noted a huge drop in relations between various European countries and the United States. This trend will continue for the time being. Well, that's no good for the new relationship that the US is building with the Central European countries. Oh well. Somebody might have tried to break it up a little bit. Russia has been surprisingly quiet, but I better not say that too loudly. Oh well. I guess now with Kazakhstan being a nuclear power and with them cooperating in Central Asia, there's not really that much left to do. Well, they could go after Armenia or again after Azerbaijan. And there's still the Estonians, but I don't know, maybe they're just trying to get rid of their warmonger level. But then again, I don't see them here, so maybe they don't even have one. Pakistan is bankrupt again. Every few years, so yes, this is just a normal thing. We are still number 4th, at least that is quite stable, and the gap is closing. We're just 200 behind the Japanese now. Let's get it. I don't think we'll be able to get more funds into this global hunger thing. Maybe. It ends on the 28th of March. No, I don't think we will. So let's hope we at least get 3rd place. We're almost done with atomic power. Come on. Yes, this hunger thing is over. There we go. And we got number 1. So despite not really investing that much, we still beat the UK by about 5%, and France as well. And Canada, okay, they all tie for 3rd place. Good grief, there's a lot of them. Australia contributed probably just once, so they don't get much or anything. Brazil, US, they all get scored from this. That's not so great because Japan is obviously our rival, so now they're getting more. And the US, which is already number 1 by a huge margin. Oh well, we get 500 out of it, so that's great in itself. Alright, close that. Was a complete success. The UK has no idea what hit them, but now I don't know if this closed their stock exchange. Let's see. Nope, it's still there. Ah, nuclear power. Okay, just stop there. Turkmenistan is also bankrupt. So yes, sometimes even though this slander stock exchange works, it doesn't mean that it closes down. So probably either, unless we can do it again, which I doubt, no, it's going to take more than a year to try again. So I'll see if I can convince the Japanese to join us, even though we don't really like them very much. And yes, at least we can get some money out of them. Maybe that will be worth it. I see we're number 3 again because of that. But not by a huge margin, because the Japanese also got something out of that funding project. But hey, we'll be back soon, so it'll take a while now, 3 years before the next official sort of rankings come out. But if we can maintain that position, we'll still be number 3. So, where were we? Let's see. Military? Yes, atomic power, so we're done with that. Now let's do the atom bomb theory. Oh, that's a lot of money, but it's worth taking out a little bit. We almost have enough. A blueprint, okay, well, a blueprint of a working fission weapon. So that's the sort of entry-level atom bomb. Capable of detonating with a power of 100 tons of TNT. So it's not the fusion bombs yet, but it's something. And it will give us score, so do it. Took out a little bit of a loan, but not too much, luckily. Even the UK is authoritarian. It seems the whole world is switching over. I wonder, are there any real democracies left if even the US is authoritarian? So where are we right now? Yes, I see we're moving closer and closer to totalitarianism. I want to stop that. I don't want us to be a totalitarian country. Personal control is very high. Militarism is skyrocketing, which is fine because we can get more capacity for our military. Green energy, more GDP growth. I also just want to check our unemployment. Let's see. 0. Okay, not a problem. We have 0 unemployment. So we were looking at the green energy. Let's see, where is that? Economy. The next one is green energy focus, which costs also quite a lot, but I will even take out that money. I don't mind that. Focus mainly on ecological power sources, a bit of GDP and more relations with the world. We can't have fossil fuel or atomic energy. We use the atom but for hostile purposes, not for power generation. It will cost us some maintenance, unfortunately. But that GDP growth, I think it doesn't look like much, but every little bit helps, and eventually it adds up to quite a lot. So you can see, compared to how we started, we're doing very well, even though the world is, the world economy is going down again. So, let's see, what next? What next? Yes, now we need to start paying off this debt again, but that's okay. 12,000 isn't that bad. And in real life, all countries basically have debt because you need it to cover certain expenses and give you some more options. Stabilization mission. Should we send a stabilization mission to help peacefully resolve conflicts in other countries in India? I think so, because I've been concerned about what's happening there for a while, and it's just war after war. It will cost us money and action points, but we'll get score, and at least it's peaceful resolution, so I'll do that. Let's help India. Because this is crazy. The Indian people must be so tired of all these wars and fighting and all of that. See, did I take care of that? Czechia left Japan, so I guess they're moving more towards the US now, even though there's that sort of friction. International underwater base. The United Nations proposed creation of an underwater international base that will be under management of a few countries at once. Everyone involved will be able to gain advantages from this facility. There's no way I'm not doing it because I know Japan will be there, and if they are there, I have to be there too. So this one won't belong to us, but at least we can get a share of the action, so do it. 500, just do it. I don't even want to look at the costs. There was a problem at one of our power plants last night. While it's nothing serious, some of the neighborhoods in the capital will have no electricity for a couple of days. Well, that's nothing new for us in South Africa. When we had what we call load shedding, because there wasn't enough power generation to meet the demand, so every like day or so you would have a power cut. Luckily that's past us now, but we know what this is like. So okay, unhappiness and action points, some loss of growth. Okay, well, that's a pity, but it is what it is. Just pay this money. So how many partners will there be? There'll be 3, and this is about Nautilia. But now these others, do they share in that? Because I don't see that they get Nautilia as a core. Maybe not. Maybe they have sort of a minor share of it, but it's still under one country's control. Assassination. There's a very popular oppositionist that keeps gathering more and more supporters around him. Soon he may end up being a real danger to us. Perhaps we should do something now instead of waiting for the inevitable. It would be too bad if he had an accident. Personal control goes up, unhappiness goes up. I don't want to lose the militarism, but losing some personal control would actually, I think, be a generally good thing. So I'll say leave him alone. I'm not about that life. Not yet, anyway. So we got a bit of money again, but we'll need it for this Nautilia. I wonder where that will be. Well, it's a big ocean, so many places for another base. I'm still waiting. It's almost September. I want that 5 HDI back. Kenya, come on. I have a strong suspicion I won't be getting it back, but I want to test that. Sierra Leone joined the bloc of Nigeria, so they're going wild here, building a bloc in West Africa, but okay, I don't see that as a direct challenge, at least not yet. Sierra Leone, Mali, and of course Nigeria. The thing is though, if I do build a bloc, I want relatively strong countries in that bloc. I don't want to create a bloc with small countries. I have no disrespect for Mali, but I'm going to use them as an example. If I include Mali in the bloc, how are they going to help me in a war? Let's look at their military. For some reason they have 15 aircraft. Now is this Mali really? That's us. No, 1 aircraft, 2 tanks and 6 infantry. So not that impressive. Let's see, wait a minute, we can add another partner into the stock market. I see Italy is still on its own, nobody seems to want it. Canada maybe? Let's see, they'll give us 10, that's already a great start. Japan will give us only 2, no, then Canada it is. And let's just increase that, and they already give us... Wow, that's quite a lot. More than Brazil or South Korea or Australia or France. Well, I'm not complaining. So yes, this bloc thing, I don't know. What would it take to get Australia into a bloc? Looks like we would have the military capacity, it's just we need better relations. So improve the relations? That could be a decent partner, I think. Oh dear, not in our country, please. A terrible natural disaster happened in one of our provinces. Do they say which one? No. Urgent action is needed. Should we declare a state of emergency to handle the situation? If I say no, it's a loss of 600 money, population growth and even more unhappiness. But interventionism will go up if I say yes. But in real life I would say yes, because declaring a state of emergency releases more funds from the government for dealing with the disaster. So obviously I want to do something. Oh dear, more funding, so I see more debt. The moons of Jupiter are rich in resources and should be relatively easy to inhabit. Another cosmic race is on. Let's grab what we can. Go for it. Stop for a second, let me have a look. Peace treaty between Mexico and the US is over, so there might be another war. So what are we fighting over? Europa? Definitely, I agree, this is #1 prize, because I would love to know what's under the ice there on Europa. Callisto and Ganymede, so these are all good ones. I'm glad Io is not here, because I wouldn't want to live there. So this costs a lot more, but you know, sometimes you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. That's what B.B. King said. Big fan of B.B. King. Panama joined Mexico again. Iceland again joined Canada, so they are not put off by the whole US intervention there. Mexico wants something. Hey, wait a minute, stop. Improve relations in Australia. Success. Okay, hold on. I see we now have 105 HDI. We had 95, so we got something back, but we got more back. Now, is that because we once had 105 and this somehow reset that, or did we actually get more back than we gave away? Well, this is interesting, but you know, it's like the scientific method. We have to have a hypothesis, and then we have to set about means of testing that hypothesis, and then we can sort of analyze the results. So if we have 105 now, let's pick somebody else and test if it happens again. Uganda, you know, Kampala is nice, and I think there's a very nice university there, so I want to help you a little bit. So again, it will cost us the 5 HDI, relations will go up, and so on and so on. It's the same story, so implement that. Australia, can I talk to you for a second? Relations not good enough. Okay, what can I do about it? It's a 47% chance that they'll say yes, which is almost 1 in 2. So maybe we should just try it if we can. I know we're not there yet, but no, not Uganda. Still 0 because we're not there yet. That's very funny. So how can I do something? Can I help Australia? Oh no, 24,000 is absolutely not gonna happen ever. So we need another way to improve our relations with them. I don't know what to do now. I could influence their political system, but how is that really gonna improve the relations? It doesn't say anything about the military, so I assume that we meet the military requirements. We just need a better relationship with them. But I can't pay 24,000. That's definitely never going to happen. Let me think about it for a second. Let's just go on, and maybe something good will happen, or our relationship will improve automatically. Kyrgyzstan is bankrupt. Central Asia is not doing well. Lots of things happening. There's no way I can pay 24,000. And then after a year they suddenly decide to leave my bloc? Never. They're a democracy, so that might also complicate things. There we go. 105 HDI. What's this? Achievement unlocked. 40 years have passed like one day. Yes, that's true. So, did I say we had 57 years or something before? I was confused again. So 40 years have now passed. That's strange. Help country in Uganda is a success, so we have 100 HDI now. So we'll see what happens after 1 year. Let's just see, what was I trying to see? Oh yes, the military of Australia. Oh yeah, that's not so great. Oh well, it's better than nothing, and they certainly have the economy to improve that if they have to. Stock market. Well, and since Australia is already one of our stock market partners, I'm really hoping that we can get this relationship in a good state, but it's 0. Pakistan is bankrupt again. If I have $10 for each time that happens, I'll already have a lot of money. They sort of like us, but not that much yet. But I don't know how to really change that now. Oh well. Almost done with the atomic bomb theory. Hey, the money is just pouring out. So Kenya, do you still like us? Well, not really. 53. These things wear off too fast, but then again, you know, a day in politics is 10 seconds in real life. Was it the other way around now? I don't know. Things just happen so fast and the situations change so quickly that it does make sense that the relationships don't last very long. I want to see what Palestine is asking for. Customs reduction. We would like to enter your market with even higher power than ever before. Unfortunately, your current import tariffs prevent that. Would you mind reducing them? I think we can make this work so relations go up, GDP growth goes down for almost a year, and then their growth goes up. Do I want to? No. You're a terrorism exporter. Sorry, I had sympathy for you before that happened, but not after. And my clock says it's half an hour. And we end with the atom bomb. So let's just pick another one quickly and then I'll end the video. So we did the atom bomb. What's next? There's another atom bomb. So that's the theory. This is the practice, I guess. Setting up facilities for mass nuclear weapon production. Oh dear, 7,000 is a bit much, and we need to spend the money now on other funding projects, so I don't think we can do that right now. We'll have to wait until this whole Jupiter thing is over. Super materials, maybe this one gives us a bit of score. Can lead to what? Let's see, advanced optics, nanotechnology and stealth, but I don't know. Is that worth it? Let's see, anti-tank tactics, infantry attack versus armor. Cost us a bit, but okay, let's do this. This is not that expensive. Let's do it. And let's just start the clock. Okay, so next time I just want to check. I must really remember to check if we get our HDI back again, because I'm always worried about that. And there's another thing that I really want to figure out, and it's this thing down here. Where is it? Okay, it has changed over time. The economic development. It says we're now on a medium level of economic development, even though we have an astronomically high HDI. But I don't know what this means. Next ED level is now 15 out of 30, but how do you change that? It just says what the effects of that are. It doesn't say how you change it, and none of these projects actually impact that. It just impacts economic growth and so on, and HDI. So, I don't know. I guess it happens on its own over time. You see, I see nothing here that talks about our development level. Oh well. It just happens. So I guess this is the sort of way that the wealth filters through our society. But there we go. So I'll end this episode and I'll say thank you for watching and have a fantastic day.